Hello, my name is Dylan Rhodes, and I'll be presenting today on Florence Price's song Ticklin' Toes for MTNet FSU World Music Presentation. Many of us know Florence Price now, but at the time she was quite the revolutionary figure. She was the first African American woman composer to be recognized as a composer in the Western musical sphere and to have her music premiered and played by major orchestras at the time. She graduated from NEC with a degree in piano pedagogy, yay, and organ performance, and spent a lot of her time composing in the 20s and 30s in Chicago with her family. And throughout her life and her music, there is a big influence of African American spirituals in the way that she wrote. And yeah. Now, this song, Ticklin' Toes, is actually from a suite called Three Little Negro Dances that she published in 1933. The suite, as a whole, heavily draws on African American spirituals and is very reflective of the character and composer that she was. There are a lot of rag rhythms and syncopations that happen throughout the three different works as a whole, and I think that Tickle Toes does a really good job, kind of showcasing all different types of her writing style within just like this little compact 1 minute piece that your students can learn. Just kind of talking to the student, rag and African American spirituals are definitely a lot different than the music that we normally play in classical music. So I think it'd be cool to kind of talk to the student about like Scott Joplin and Margaret Bonds and William Grant Still and how kind of their music kind of changed the scope of American culture and music like jazz was heavily influenced by spirituals, and these composers were influenced by spirituals and jazz. So there's a lot of give and take there, and almost having your student listen to different stuff would be a really cool way to introduce them to this different type of music that we're not necessarily like as accustomed to as the Western and classical canon. Um, some of the pedagogical features of this piece, it has a lot of difficult rhythms to tackle, so there's a lot for the student to kind of dig into. Subito dynamics happen throughout a lot, so you're playing a passage one way and then you're repeating it, but this time forte or piano. There's a lot of contrast between it's like an ABA section, so the B section is definitely a little different character. It's still upbeat and light, but there's almost like a hoedown feel to it, if I could even say that. So it's a lot of fun. I'm calling this the boom chick left hand. I think we know what we're talking about, but that's a fun thing to tackle. And within that boom chick left hand, there's a lot of contrapuntal texture to pull out of and highlight for the student. So kind of just showcasing some of these features. So we see in the first line here, I highlighted there's a da 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 da, a little counter melody that you can pull out. When I play, when you see me play in a couple minutes, you'll kind of hear me bring that out the second time it comes around. It's a really cool thing for a more advanced student or somebody who's more comfortable with the piece once they get it under their fingers to kind of add in as an extra layer of fun for them to kind of challenge themselves with and try to tackle. Also, a lot of syncopated different rhythms, da 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 da. And I think really emphasizing the student da 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 da, and how the accent kind of translates into the playing and how to make the accent work in your wrist and in a way that is comfortable for the student. That'll be very ergonomical, and the choreography of it all makes sense. One more feature to talk about, to kind of talk about earlier, the subito dynamics that happen. So we see in measure 55, there's the mezzo piano subito, and then in measure 57, sorry, 57, there's a forte subito and an accelerando to the end. So it'd be really important to make sure the student learns the accelerando, excuse me, section not in time, and they're not rushing and they're not trying the accelerando until it's in their fingers and they're ready to play it. And then they can have the accelerando. There's also musical breaths we see in measure 56 and measure 54. There's a ba 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 ba, and this is a really dangerous time for a student to want to rush ahead. So you want to make sure you kind of hold them back and keep them at bay. But yeah, overall, this piece is a really exciting thing for a student to tackle, and it introduces them to a whole different type of music with African American spirituals and African American composers and an amazing field of composers. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you.